Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about rational functions. And rational functions is this. See that? This is what you call a rational function. In today's project, we're going to answer all of these 5 questions. First, we need to find domain and range. B, we need to state the asymptotes. C, we need to find the axis intercepts. And D, we need to find the sign diagram. E, we need to sketch the graph. First, we're going to start by finding the domain. The domain is the x, and since you know a function like this, the denominator cannot be 0. So as you can see in this function, x plus 1 here is the denominator. So you can put it as x plus 1 cannot be 0. So we need to move 1 to the other side. And as you can see, we have found our domain. Just like that. Now we're going to move on to find the range. So in this function, to find range, as you can see here, even if x change with any negative or positive number, it cannot remain as 1. That's why the range of this function is 1. And moving on next to find the asymptotes. The asymptotes is basically the lines where the graph cannot touch. And since these are the lines that cannot touch, we can put it as the asymptotes are x equals to -1 and y equals to 1. Easy! So next, we're going to find the axis intercepts. The axis intercepts have x-intercept. And also y-intercept, but I'm going to show you how to find the x-intercept first. And when to find x-intercept, y equals 0. So here, we're going to put this over here. As you know, fx is equals to y. And since y is equals to 0, we can put the graph as 0 equals to -4 over x plus 1 plus 1. After this, we're going to move plus 1 to the other side, which become negative. So it's going to be -1 over -4 over x plus 1. And after this, you can get this x plus 1, move it to the other side, which will be -1 times with x plus 1. And after you move, -4 will drop down. And then here, you need to expand it. So -1 times by x is -x. -1 times with 1 is -1. Equals -4. So now we gotta bring 1 to the other side and leave x on the left side. Just like this. And after this, simplify it. And since both of this is negative, we can cancel it out to make our intercept x equals 3. Wow! So now after finding x-intercept, we're gonna find y-intercept. And when you find y-intercept, x becomes 0. So we're gonna put this graph right here. After you put this graph, since x equals to 0, we're gonna substitute it. And now you gotta simplify it. So y equals -4 over 0 plus 1. It's 1 plus 1. So y is equals to -4 over 1, that's -4, plus by 1, that is -3. So our y-intercept is y equals -3. So after finding the axis-intercept, we're going to move on to find the sign diagram. So to start off, to find the sign diagram, we need to simplify this equation to not make it a whole number into a fraction form. How? Let me show you. As you can see what I did here, I turned 1 equals to x plus 1 divided by x plus 1. If you divide them back together, you still get 1. And after you did this, as you can see, both the denominator is the same, so we can take the numerator plus with the numerator. Let me show you again. Just like this. And after this, you need to simplify the equation. And there you go. We have made this into a fraction form, which is possible now to do the sign diagram. But before that, to do the sign diagram, we also need the intercept and the domain. And from our last minute, our intercept, we have found that x is equals to 3. And our domain, we have found that x cannot be -1. And now we're going to move on to do the sign diagram. Wow. So now we're going to start to do the sign diagram. These are the ingredients that we need to do. So first we can put as x. And now we get the lower number first. And which one is lower, -1 or 3? As you might have guessed it, it's -1. And we put 3 here. And now we're going to put x plus 3. X plus 1. And now the whole function. And now we're going to start to do. Since x plus 3 here comes from 3, you can put it as 0. Just like this. And -1 here comes from this equation, so you can put 0 over here. So now, what we need to do next we need to list the signs. So x plus 3, you know that over from here is a, and if a is positive, as you can see here, x plus 3, behind x is 1, and 1 is a positive number. So since 1 is a positive number, from 0 going from here is positive, and behind 0 is going to negative. So you're going to list it as plus, minus, and minus. Next, x plus 1, the same thing as this equation. A here is positive, so 0 is here. So going from this side, it will be positive and positive, but going to the other side below 0 is going to be negative. So you're going to put negative, positive, and positive. Now, as you know that this line over here is the domain, which makes it unidentified. And what do you do to the line of the unidentified? You put dots. And this one is a normal one. You can just put line. So we're going to take negative with negative, times it together. That will be positive. And negative with positive, what will it be? Negative. And positive with positive, it will become positive. So this is how you do the sign diagram. Bam! Now we need to sketch the graph. How do we sketch the graph? We need the asymptote, the x-intercept, the y-intercept. That's what we all need. And don't forget the special tool, the parabola. So now the asymptote I is equals to -1. Here is the x-axis. As you can see, the x and the y. And the y. So now x is equals to -1, which is here. So you're going to draw a straight line like this. Just like that. Now y equals to 1. Where is y? Here. Here. This is basically the line where the function cannot touch. Why? Because it is the asymptote. Now moving on, the graph, the intercept of the graph is 3. X equals 3, which is here. And y equals -3, which is the y-intercept, which is right here. And after that, we're going to draw the graph. How? With the special parabola that was borrowed by teacher Samrong, and I'm going to take full responsibility of it. Watch. So now 3 is here. I'm going to do it like this. And draw. Now you want to flip it to the other side, which is here. And there you go. Wait, don't forget, since this graph is infinite, this line continue until next to this line. Make sure it doesn't touch. Also with this line, it goes about right next to it, but will not touch the asymptote. So now we're gonna translate this graph to the first quadrant. How? We're gonna take this unit right here, -1 and 1, which is the middle of this function. So 1 and -1, we're gonna translate it over the y-axis. From 1 to -1, it is 2 units, 1 and 2. So we can translate 2 units to the other side too. 1 and 2, which will be -3. Next, the other point, we're going to translate it over the x-axis from -1 to 1. 1, 2. That's 2 units. So we're going to translate 2 units up also. 1 and 2, which is this line. As you can see, the translation of this graph, this point, is right here. And after we have this middle point or this vertex, we can draw with this parabola. So now you can start by doing this. And this line will go infinite, but will never touch this asymptote. And here, you have finally sketched the function of y equals -4 over x plus 1 plus 1. Thank you for watching.